Alright, hey everyone, how is it going? It's me, Master9, with another Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra video update. Currently, we are in the final week of Season 2. So, I just want to talk about what we can anticipate with Season 3. Squadra Talk came out, I believe, last night. It was late, so I didn't get a chance to record a video, but I just want to give a little conversation about it. First and foremost, congratulations to Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra for getting Google Play's Best of 2025 in Japan. It is quite an, it's an honor, all things considered. You don't think too much of it because it's a mobile game, but there are some good mobile games to compete against this year. Especially Uma Musume Pretty Derby. I don't play it myself, but I think that won the Game Awards this year. So there's a lot of conversation and talk. So all in all, congrats to Gekishin Squadra. So let's take a look real quick at what we can anticipate. So first off, Android 16. Currently our boss system includes 4 bosses coming at different times. We got 16, we've got Nappa, we've got Ribrian, and we have got Jocko. Now, as much as I am of a fan of 16, he is being rotated out. So he will no longer be available to fight as a boss. And this is going to bring up some questions. For example, who's going to be replacing him? And specifically, he's getting replaced by Gekishin. For those who are not familiar, he's from OG Dragon Ball. I call it Dragon Ball Origins. He is from the Budokai Tenkaichi. He served as the first major opponent for Goku to give a true test of strength for Goku. So what can we anticipate? Well, he is someone going to use Vanishing Step and multiple clones, kind of a speed differential to provide counterattacks when you hit the wrong clone. You can really see what they're trying to go for. Personally, I think wide beams are going to provide a great opportunity to fight Gekishin. So someone such as Super Saiyan 3 Goku or Super Saiyan Goku will be nice options to have on your DPS for this boss fight. Maybe someone with a strong AoE like Baby Pulse or what's his name? Cell. Cell's skill 1 might be good options as well. This does bring up some interesting questions. For example, is 16 ever going to come back? If so, how? So right now 16's on top path, but does he have to be locked into that top path boss? Could he replace Nappa as a bottom path boss so we can have Gekishin and 16 at the same time? Or does 16 have to be a top path boss to where if he comes back, he will replace Gekishin? This is all questions that's just going to have to answered in time. If he does make a comeback, that provides an interesting question of pre-existing bosses coming back. So Uzaru was a boss from the beta, and the beta Uzaru boss was just not right for the full game release, according to fans. So they might need to rework it, but would that be able to make a comeback into the actual game? That's the question I'm trying to figure out. So I think that's also a very nice question, and maybe he doesn't come back, but that might open him up to become a playable character in the future. We have 17, we have 18, we have Cell. Really, the major one missing from that set is 16. Of course, you got 20 and 21, so, Jiro. But that's besides the point. You also get a very interesting question. If they keep adding bosses, maybe sometime in the future, not near future, so maybe a season 8 or 9, they allow you to build your own maps, choose your bosses, choose your divine draw, choose those kinds of features. Speaking of divine draw, we are going to get a rotation change to our divine draw. Super skill damage 2, Sparkly Stardust, and Spirited Away are leaving. These, honestly, if I had to pick some, these are middle. I like super damage boost skill 2. That one's pretty good, and seeing it not being replaced with a super damage boost skill 3, a little unfortunate to complete that trilogy, but I'm not gonna fight about it. Sparkly Stardust going away is a pain because it's going to lead to less aggressive gameplay due to not being able to gain your Gekishin burst as fast, and Spirited Away doesn't allow you any hiding opportunity, so again, less aggressive because you're not as encouraged to sneak up to your opponent's base. Taking a look at what we got, super cooldown reduction, Vanishing Step. So this provides some interesting questions. So for example, well, this one's self-explanatory. The Vanishing Step is going to get cooled down so you can use it faster, especially combining it with that Divine Draw combo card that allows you to use it multiple times. Vanishing Step might be a very, very strong toolkit in a lot of people's builds. But by the phrasing super cooldown reduction, maybe in the future we see a cooldown reduction for certain skills. Skill 1, skill 2, skill 3, maybe super skill. So that's fascinating. That's fascinating. It really asks a ton of questions of what we're going to see in the future. Cloudy Cloak is interesting because Cloudy Cloak is going to be where you travel through a cloud. You're going to have a Cloudy Cloak above you. Enemies are going to be unable to see information such as damage, which character you are, and features. If you attack, you're going to get rid of that cloak. And if you are attacked, you're going to get rid of that cloak. So you can't really use it for hiding, but you can use it for concealing information. So I don't think it's going to be that great. Honestly, it could have gone like the exploding Cybermen, or the exploding feature that allows you to knock back opponents a little bit when you beat an NPC. But all in all, I think this one's going to be harmless. Mr. HP is interesting. So if you don't get an attack on an opponent in a while, then the HP is going to become clouded. You're not going to know how much HP they're going to have. So that's going to be applying for opponent player characters, all NPCs, so the Kaioshin, the Celt Juniors, the Frieza Grunts, the bosses as well, and your Gods of Destruction and the enemy's Gods of Destruction. So you have a very interesting game right here because it becomes a game of, do I approach or do I not? You know, you see your opponent's HP at a sliver, you're like, okay, I'm willing to dive in a little bit because I can guarantee that kill and get that XP. But where you don't know the enemy's HP, then you're gonna have a rough time. The combination of the three of these is very fascinating to me because it seems we're moving away from a strong offensive based game to a more defensive season. You're going to want to play a little bit more on your toes and a little more cautiously. The enemy can vanish. You have less information about the enemy, and where information is power, we don't know how we should be approaching. So this is going to change the meta a bit, in my opinion. Personally, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be very fascinating. It might be nice to have more people running a little bit more defensive and a little bit more cautious on your team. Primarily, I say that because that's how I tend to play. So let's take a look at what's next. And that is Super Saiyan Vegito. They are adding him to the game. Super Saiyan Vegito is coming in. He is going to be the first character they add into the game. He is a damage-based character, and he looks to be an AoE fighter that is close range. So he has the energy sword that we all know and love Vegito for. He is going to be focused on getting enemies grouped together and dealing insane combos to shred their HP and get kills. So he's very much into the category we like to call crowd control. So he's going to be the first character unlocked. He's got some interesting features. For example, you're going to be able to transform with him as soon as possible. He doesn't need any specific conditions. You can just transform from Vegito to Super Vegito. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel that's a little bit early and overwhelming the early game, but maybe they're going to make him a bit weaker in a late game sense. We're going to see a lot of Super Vegitos as AoE control, and so what can you expect to play to give some support? Well, Baby is a pretty good option because, well, he's going to be rushing in. He wants to deal a lot of damage to a lot of enemies. So Vegito is going to want to just be aggressive. So Baby rewards your assistance for being aggressive, and you have a combo right there. I could see the General Rildo or the Taunt helper being a lot more assistant because you're going to be able to draw enemies in a little bit more. Personally, I'm more of a defense buff like Kaba, but I could definitely see Rildo being more beneficial with a Vegito. Maybe a Khalifa. She could be good because of pulling the aggression, so you just both dive in and get some hits. Someone who is able to push as well, such as young Gohan. He can help keep the pacing under control. Ultimate Gohan's going to be great because he's already pushing, so having a double pusher is going to be really good. All in all, I could see Vegito not being like a fully broken character just yet for the common person. I mean, he's gonna have a lot of combo potential, which puts Super Saiyan Goku, not Super Saiyan 3, but regular Super Saiyan Goku as a high tier character because he can combo a lot. Vegito's gonna be able to combo a lot, so I could see him having a lot of potential for high skill ceiling. Next up is Bardock. Bardock is coming into the game as a tank. He's gonna have a Super Saiyan transformation, most likely level 7. We didn't get enough details about that, but from the very little clips that we saw, I've seen Bardock as a dive tank. Bardock is going to be someone who wants to have high HP himself, not necessarily support the enemy or support the allies through direct defense, but support the allies by taking attention from the opponent. He seems to have a lot of rush attacks that pushes him towards the opponent, which can slow them down and allow your tech, allow your damages to come in and get that final kill. So I'm seeing a lot of potential from Bardock. I mean, I think if you're a fan of Bardock, he's going to be good. So all Bardock fans can play with him and have a good time. I could see myself liking him, but I don't see him becoming better than Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. We don't know because we don't have the information out yet, but that's just my basic approach. I'm looking forward to seeing Bardock in play. Hopefully I get a chance to try him, but we're gonna see. And finally, the third character they're going to add for Season 3 is going to be Kefla. The fusion between Kale and Caulifla is coming. So she's going to be playing as a damage, and from the videos we saw, she seems to be as a high mobility ranged damage fighter. She's going to be able to really do some nice pushes against the opponent and punish their momentum and try to punish them for running. So in a combination with a higher speed like a tech like maybe Go Tanks, you're going to have good options in following up and getting kills. So based off of what I saw, the name of the game this Season 3 is going to be positioning as well as defense. You're going to play a more cautious game because we're going to have less aggressive divine draws. But we're going to have a bit more of an aggressive game in the sense that we want to position our opponents just right to finish them off and get the kills. Being able to play a bit more ranged is going to be beneficial. So characters such as Bojack, Super Saiyan Free Goku, Oob might get some buffs that make him a bit more viable, and Kefla is going to be nice options for you. With a more ranged meta, I think we're going to see Botamo or the push assistant on your DPS a little bit stronger. I can see certain characters such as Frieza rising more to a defensive role, while our damage focus a bit more heavily on attack. So that kind of gets the approach. I could see them demoting a tier 1 character. We didn't get a full tier 1 demote this season. Super Saiyan 4, Vegeta, Super Saiyan Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan Broly, and Super Saiyan Free Goku and Topu are all still like tier 1 characters, as well as Ultimate Gohan. We might get a demote with one of them, Topo or Super Saiyan Free Goku. We're just gonna have to wait the week and see. But I think it's going to be a good season. Now, in terms of the final piece that they fully mentioned, we have Squadra Blast tournaments. The first Squadra Blast tournament did very well, and so we're going to look towards another set of that. Expect them around March. This time they're going to add single player version as well as the team version, so you're going to be able to get some points and some participation going as well, which I find really nice. I was unable to participate in Squadra Blast for a multitude of reasons. 1, I don't think I'm good enough to fully compete just yet. 2, I don't have a team. 3, I've got a job. I can't take off the time. So having some single player options is kind of nice. I'm looking forward to that. What else can we anticipate that wasn't really mentioned? Well, we'll probably have some sort of event, maybe more around Valentine's Day. It would be a bit early, but that's one of those few events I could see universally approached, if that makes sense. We didn't get anything for Halloween, but we did get something for Christmas time. We are more likely to not going to get some sort of seasonal event for Valentine's Day, which is February 14th, because that's whatever, and that's a bit more mid of the season. That's a month away from when the season starts, so that's about halfway. 4 weeks, 5 weeks. So I think that's looking good. We're gonna get an assist that will be need to unlock for some gameplay. Season 1, we got Major Metallic as the Crasher role. Season 2, we got the Invisible Man with a hide role. And Season 3, I think we can expect some sort of tank assistant. I don't necessarily know what might be with the tank, but I'm feeling we're going to get some sort of tank assistant. And then we're going to have the Season 3 rewards for positioning high. For Season 2, there's a max burst or burst attack that you can get from positioning high. But there was also Bola, who was an alternative version of an assistant. So I think she takes up the defense role. Season 1, you had Tao Pai Pai, who took up the ride role. We're just gonna have to wait and see what comes up. There's also a few more costumes we're gonna add. For example, we're getting Batman Vegeta, his iconic pink shirt. But yeah, I think we get the idea. That is going to be Season 3 of Gekishin Squadra. Expect to play a bit more defensively, but ultimately expect to have fun. It's looking to be an awesome season. My friends, I hope that you, along with me, are looking forward to Season 1, or Season 2, Season 3, and Season 4, all the seasons. I know I am. I've been having a wonderful time with the game. But as always, stay sloppy and you have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.